Hey Indian Hills, this is Mrs. Sandersfeld-Miller, your teacher librarian, here with some new books that are headed out to the shelves in the library. So we'll start off with some graphic novels. The first one is about some kids who are Filipino American and their parents own a food truck, and sometimes they're okay with it, sometimes they're embarrassed about it because sometimes their parents make them dress up as a stuffed pig to go advertise for their food truck and hand out free samples and things like that. And then this one, the graphic novel, has lots of good color illustrations in it, but it also has some like fantasy elements to it too. So there's some characters that kind of come to life in the book. Duel is about two girls who are sisters. One is in 6th grade, one is in 8th grade, and they don't always get along with each other. They are also both really into fencing, and they get into an argument at one point, and one challenges the other one to a duel. So just a story about siblings and trying to get along and doing different sports while you're in middle school and things like that. Static Up All Night is a DC comic. This one is about a boy who finally gets enough courage to reveal his secret identity as a superhero to his girlfriend, and then she promptly breaks up with him. So it's a story about him trying to deal with his broken heart and trying to figure out if, even though he has superpowers, if he can mend his broken heart. And then we have Last Kids on Earth. This one is book number 9. So this one is a new one. If you are into graphic novels and Diary of a Wimpy Kid and you have never tried Last Kids on Earth is a great one to kind of bump up to. Next up, we have a few chapter books. So the first one is Rewind, and Rewind is about a girl who is super excited when the theme to their school party is revealed to be 1993. And so she has hand sewn a costume from 1993. She's super excited about it, and then everything goes wrong, and somehow she's transported back to the actual year 1993. So it's a story about a girl, time travel, trying to figure out how she can get back into the present day. Jacqueline Woodson, Remember Us. This one is not exactly written in verse, I wouldn't say, but it's not exactly written in regular paragraphs either. So it's a good short book. It's about a girl who lives in one of the boroughs of New York City, and she meets a guy who's a new kid to the area, and they just kind of bond over things. They just really get along well, and then there's a little bit of basketball in it too. The Do More Club is about a kid who starts to notice some anti-Semitic things at school, and then one day there's a large swastika spray painted at his school, and so him and his friends get together and they try and figure out what they can do to make a club to do more for their school and to get everybody to feel involved and help everybody feel accepted. So, and this one is written in poetry, so this one's written in verse, so it looks like it's kind of a big old book, but it's not a lot of words per page, so it would be a pretty fast read. And then the last one is Warrior Girl, and this one is also written in verse, so another one that is written in poetry, not super long. It's about a girl who is Mexican American, and at home she really enjoys being a part of both cultures, but at school she feels like she has to hide who she is a little bit. So just, about a girl in middle school trying to figure out her identity and find out where she fits in. And then we'll finish off with some nonfiction books. So we have The Stars of World Soccer. So this one, not a super long book, but lots of good illustrations and kind of like profiles of different players across world soccer. We have Motorsports. This one is a really, really short one. This would be a fun one for study hall, just kind of short little blurbs, mostly pictures, just kind of a fun, interesting one if you're into different motorsports. Breakthrough, this one is a biography about the woman who developed the mRNA vaccine, and the mRNA vaccine is kind of the basis for a lot of our modern vaccines and kind of the delivery system of how we get modern vaccines to work. So very important discovery there. And then the last one is a biography about Joseph Lister. He is the guy who kind of changed medical things forever. So he's the one who discovered what germs were and what causes infections. And this one is a little bit more interesting too. It's kind of shorter, little blurbs, more illustrations. So this one's a little bit easier read. This one might be a little bit more difficult. So there's more words per page, less illustrations on that one. So a little bit tougher reading level for this one, a little bit easier reading level for that one. So if any of these look good to you, go ahead and come to the library to check them out, or hop on Destiny Discover, place them on hold, and I will deliver them to your English teacher.